You make her feel important.
Hi, everyone. We're on, girls.
We're on.
So we just came out of an Innerdance. We're here at Karma House.
Yeah.
And we're kind of still in a
Innerdance.
trance. In a trance.
Transvance.
So Gigi has had some things that she wanted to share.
So,
didn't you have some things you wanted to share with our friends?
yes. Well, we are fresh in the moment that we just finished. So I wanted to record this little video and share about our experiences. So here, these two are going to talk more than me, really, because I can say that the energy today was really strong, and it felt well contained in the room, and we were been floating and also going really deep. So for some was diving into their being. For some others have been floating, right, and feeling.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
Well, part of it, it was just a whole bunch of different sensations and experiences that I went through, but one that was really interesting, I should say, is I was being taken up a mountain, and then when I got to the top of the mountain, I just let myself go into the air, the unknown, and I was flying, but I was flying on my back, actually. So I didn't know where I was going, and I was just totally surrendering and letting myself just be supported by life, by the air, and it just felt amazing. I felt like, oh, it's okay. I'm safe.
Yes. And it's interesting that before, so when we opened the dialogue, we have been talking about this, some fears, some things that have been growing, also where we at and what has been growing and relating with and connection with nature. So something that you mentioned, and then in your inner dance also you went there and really feeling when you are in fully trust in the space or in earth, Mother Earth that is supporting us, and just that image of floating on your back, it says it all, because it's just simply that you have no direction, and then you don't know exactly what you're going, but you trust it, and it's moving you, right? It's moving through you, and that's perfectly fine. And when you find yourself like you let go of control, you let go of fear, and then you can really dive deep into the womb space, or in this ocean, right, of love and trust. And then you went to some memories, so you were remembering as well.
Yeah.
Parts of your story.
Yeah, I went back to some childhood memories and into some sensations and emotions that I remember at the time feeling really awful. I was witnessing a fight between my parents, and a lot of guilt was involved. I felt it was my fault because the argument started about something that was happening with me. And so I just went into the feelings and the guilt, and then, the shame and all of that. And it was okay. And then after, I guess, imagine as a child, you don't permit yourself, or you don't know how to cope with it, so you actually don't go into the emotion. But there I went back and I went into the emotion, and I just lived through it. It was an uncomfortable feeling, but it didn't last very long. And then after that, I felt much, much lighter. And it's as if I just shed a bunch of guilt and shame that I was kind of carrying around. And so now I feel much lighter.
Yes, that's beautiful. So really going there, going to that memory that is stored in our body. This is one of the one of the ways that the Innerdance works, right? So just go in there and bring it back to your awareness right now, right? With the maturity that you have, with what you've been developing, what you've been going through, right? And in that way, it's the only way that, you know, that we can release trauma and restoring from the present moment. So going backwards, you know, going in this timeline and bringing back these memories in that present and this dream and awake state. And then discussing this also, having the opportunity to share this in a way that also you might feel reflected, right? So it's not just about our personal story, but the way that we integrate it and we can reintegrate this. Also, that it is the way, it is one way, right, to find out also what has been there and leaving the emotion, allowing yourself to be in that uncomfort zone, right? So it's all about this process of remembering, restoring, putting all these parts of you together. And finally, once it's resolved, once it's restored, and then in this way you feel lighter because it's gone and it's no longer there. So we are removing it from it's like we are erasing these memories, you know, in our blueprints, in our bodies, and in our DNA. In this way, now we give some new room for these new pathways that are building as well in our system. So it's a lot of neurochemical, you know, movement inside, still moving right through, and it's very impressive. It's very amazing the way that
and it's not as if I consciously wanted to go there and was thinking I want to go back to that memory because I need to release my guilt and shame. I didn't know entering into the dance. I didn't know where the dance was going to take me, and it just took me there. And then it just, by surrendering and trusting the process, it just kind of happened by itself, which is the beautiful thing.
Without attachment or to the outcome, right? Without any expectations of what it's going to bring, and just let it be. This is the main. That's the only requirement, really. But it's beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. And we have Katie here. With some realizations today.
Yes. I went into my inner dance before we even lay down on the mattresses. I had this tingling feeling inside of me and plenty of giggles. And then as soon as I lay down, as soon as my head hit the mattress, it was like, ding! I had this realization. And it was to do with a topic we've been discussing this morning. And it's still very, very raw and very, very fresh. I don't find it easy to say.
I'm going to put some context here. I'm going to bring support to help you to say that. We were talking about projections, right? We were talking about this way of relating that we assume that the other person is there or is not there for us. And in the moment that I wanted, that I want to, I need something or I want something. And instead of asking simply, right, oh, are you available? Would you like to share this or that? And then there is an automatic answer or, projections or assuming, because we have all these conditionings in our mind that put us in that place. And then we step back, right? And then and then you didn't feel like asking me something or sharing something with me, or you assumed that I wouldn't hear you, or I wasn't in the place to hear that or to share that. So that was the topic more or less this morning, and in relation with well, this kind of like um, assuming or projecting something towards someone else, well, when it's actually the opposite, like it's something that we have, like we are doing to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We are not allowing a yes or no, because it doesn't really it's not about what the other person did. If she or he is in that space to answer or to respond, to connect, and that's okay. But then we just shut up, we just deny that possibility, because if there is a yes, we are just assuming a no without asking. So just by asking, okay, would you like to share what we're doing now? Do you feel, well, it was a bit of resistance, of course, like it's not very comfortable to talk about personal things in public or posting a video like this. So yeah, that was the more or less the topic this morning. So how do you feel now about sharing? How do you feel about sharing your experience and your insight? Because perhaps some people just watching might feel the same, and then just by saying it, also you take it, you put it out of the way. Just it's, if it's there in our imagination, in our mind, but then once you say it's gone.
You sure?
Yeah, we're gone.
Okay. Well, I I had a lot of these giggles throughout the whole dance today, because I I realized that I've been trying to compose myself a little bit, that I've been the one rejecting myself my whole life before I've even given anyone else the chance to reject me. I'm the one that's put the blockers up, the barriers up, and not even at times stepped up to ask or even mention what I want or what I desire. And I've always put it on the other people around me that, oh, they don't want to do this or that might be awkward. And in the end, I realised that it's me that's blocked it before it's even started. That was a huge realisation today.
Yeah, I'm sure that we all still have a little part of that in us, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are listening reject themselves at times. It's all about our, it's often a relationship with ourselves, and we project it onto the other person. But it's about our relationship with ourselves.
So I have to keep changing my perspectives, and not stepping back all the time, or second guessing, or going towards doing something and then backing away and hiding. I've just got to, if I feel it, I've got to step up and do it. And that's what I'm taking away from today. No more should I, shan't I, is this right, is it wrong? I should just do it, and if it is a yes and I get responded to, well, fantastic. And if I get the no or the rejection, then take it and look at it and grow from it, and maybe try and work out why, and be okay with that and accept it.
Yes. And it's not about, it's the fear of rejection, basically. It's that fear of rejection that limit us to express what we really want or our needs in a way that we are not also projecting that the other person has the answer to that. So perhaps, like, or if that is the moment, if that's the moment to to ask for help or support, or just to listen, whatever you need to say or to express. But it's beautiful to just acknowledge that and just being able to see it, and then next time just question, why I'm so afraid, or why am I stepping back instead of just doing it. If I'm afraid of asking, and if I'm afraid to show my vulnerability, if I'm afraid to, so just question why, and then just do it with no fear of whatever. If you have a yes or a no, but also if you have it happens to be a no, it's not to you. No, don't take it personal either, because if you take it personal, then again, like, you are blaming yourself, or you are like putting it back. This is a loop again, like feeding that, that thought, that energy, instead of like transforming that. So just look at it, like, and it's good to observe it from a different angle, so from a different perspective. And if each time, like, I feel like I do want to do something, but what is the thing, really? What is that fear, or the thing that is preventing me, is stopping me, is putting me out of the way to connect, to have access to the source, to the truth that is behind all this. So that's the message I wanted to share. And hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah.
Okay, so it was very nice to talk to you today.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.